And we're live. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Don, how you doing, sir?
I am good, my friend. Nice to see you in your snazzy shirt you have on there. You fancy guffer.
Oh,
You.
this old thing here. This old thing.
You fancy rascal. You. I know you've been. I know you've been exhausted, man. You've been burning the candle at both ends this week. I'm happy to see you here. There was a discussion today's show might not even happen. So for those of you watching, our man Larry's going above and beyond to host today's show. So I appreciate him.
Well, man, I mean, I wanted to did not want to miss our weekly hangout with everybody, with yourself and everybody. So that was the other thing. I was trying really, really hard to. It was a long, busy week, so I figured, this was the coasting part of it now.
Well, good. It's all downhill. You were telling me you still got kind of a half a busy weekend and other things still. Is all the stuff at work going to start slowing down for you, or are you going to be going nuts? No, you're just going to just be
Nah.
burning the candle both ends. Attaboy.
That's how it is, man. You know how it is. I mean, it's one of those
No,
things where
no
no
rest for
rest.
the weary, brother. Everybody's working for the weekend.
There you go. Looks like we already got a few people. I think Pat was here earlier. He said, "No, that's the kind of cat dad who makes the squad leader." I try. I try.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we got Brody here. How's it going, Brody? How you doing, little
Brody,
man?
Brody, my man. Nice to see you, brother. Brody's the cool.
hmm And we got Corey here. Hey, Corey, how's it going? Sorry I can't stay, but wanted to drop in and say hi real quick. Oh, thanks, man. That's cool. Glad you came by just to say hi, man. Always, you're here. You're gonna be here in spirit for the rest of the show, brother. So thank you for stopping by, my man. And
Yeah,
then
Corey's good people.
yeah. We got to get him on here at some point too.
Oh, most
Uh,
definitely.
Looks like we got Anthony Jabot as well. He's here. Everybody, by the way, I'm up to 97 in my memoirs. Are you just starting or midway or where? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I know he was banging out 96 for a while, and it covered everything, including the wrestling pay-per-views and what movies he saw. So there's no telling
Nice,
what type of
nice.
97 might hit us with.
Do you remember 97? I barely remember 97.
It's foggy. I was drunk then.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have you.
Lots floating around in the old Donner's head. Yeah.
Marty, how you doing, sir? How you doing,
Marty,
brother?
my
Thanks
friend,
for
nice
coming
to
by.
see you. As we were talking about earlier, between you being so busy at work and I've been on the road, I've been bouncing around. Today's location is next to Lake Michigan. I'm visiting my mother and her fiance, my future stepfather. So when this show was in flux for today, Marty was one of the people we were discussing maybe jumping in and helping me orchestrate things. So we're gonna have Marty on when we can both pay attention to him for once. Marty's
Yeah,
the
for
man.
sure. Marty is the man, and he's up for horror YouTuber of the month as well. So he's one of the
Exactly.
nominees.
I feel bad always pushing Marty because Marty's my guy. I want him to win this month, but there's some many fine candidates. So go check out the nominees video on the Horror Cat Dad on YouTube and make sure to vote for somebody on there. Marty, vote for Marty. But yeah, it's not my place to be pushing anybody.
I'm up to Nancy O'Dell in my memoirs. Oh, okay.
She's a hottie. Nice. I didn't realize you guys had a thing. That a boy, Anthony.
Nice. Midway. Okay. So he's midway through 97. Okay.
No,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, you know what did happen in 97? Tyson bit an ear.
Oh,
Now that,
you.
now that I'm remembering.
Oh,
Holyfield,
wow.
I think. You remember
Yeah, it
that?
was
Did you ever?
Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I go to the dispensary, Mike Tyson has his own brand of gummies called Mike Bites, and they're little gummy ears missing a bite out of them. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're officially licensed by him.
Yeah. Mike Bites, Mike Tyson brand. Mike Tyson, Ric Flair, and Gary Payton and Ricky Williams, who was a football player who had to retire because of too much off the field activity.
hmm
Yeah, exactly. They all have their own special brands. So yeah, the Mike Tyson one's always laughable. Whenever I give them to somebody, they're like, "Cool."
So you do
I
that
don't know
one.
how you remember that was 97. That was you got a good memory there, Larry.
I, you know, I have my moments, man. Let's see. Marty says Larry subcount is number of the beast. Be careful, Don. He can try and steal your soul. Yeah, right now
I,
it's
I could be so
666.
lucky. Larry will swallow my soul, swallow my soul.
Or we'll go to an Iron Maiden concert. One or the
Oh,
other.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that works too. Run for the hills, everybody.
All right, Trooper.
Yeah. Look at you hitting the note. I can't hit that note. Nice.
Hey, how's it going?
Jen's
DBC
here. Nice,
Jen,
Jennifer.
how
Hi.
you doing?
Welcome,
Thanks,
welcome to
thanks for
Deviant
stopping
Media.
by.
Yeah, she had warned me she might try to get here today. That's very sweet of her to make
Oh,
it. I
cool.
appreciate it, Jen.
My buddy Monroy, how you doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by, my
Juan the
man.
man. Juan the
Always a
man.
party
Glad
when
to
you're
have
here,
you
my
here.
brother.
Yeah, it's a seal of approval when Juan's here.
Yeah, man. So what else has been going on?
Let's see. This past Tuesday, I was on Mr. Bones' channel and we watched The Collector. Are you familiar with that one?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen the second one, The Collection, but the first one, The Collector, it's a very to me, it's like Hostel meets Home Alone. Like it's
Mm,
a guy breaks into a house and there's like a crazy torturer in there, and it goes from there. So apparently,
nice.
it was originally written to be a Saw prequel. It was supposed to be
Huh,
Jigsaw was in the house when the guy broke in, and he found Jigsaw in there doing stuff to people. So I don't know. It was an interesting movie. It was a good discussion. That's available on at Mr. Bones HPS, or just put in Mr. Bones Dollar Tree and you'll find him. But
so
yeah, we
so you're
watched that.
saying so you're saying Jigsaw was in the house?
Oh, look at you. That's what I like about you, Larry. You're tying it all together. It's like the Marvel Universe.
I learned from you, man.
I appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, I did that, and then I've been on the road this week. I went to Mineral Point. Well, first I went to Sauk City. That's SAUK, not SUCK. Sauk City. I kept telling people I was on my way to Sauk City, and they're like, "Can you get me a shirt?" I was like, "I don't think you understand." Um, and that was the home of Arkham Publishing. I had posted it on some of my social media. I wanted to go see. That's the original publishers of the H.P. Lovecraft and where the Batman Arkham stuff comes from. Well, all sort of whatever. So I went there, and then I went to Mineral Point, Wisconsin, and hunted both a vampire legend and a werewolf legend.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went to an old spooky haunted house where some people were executed in the late 1800s, and now it's a hotel. So yeah, I went there, and then I ran by a Native American effigy mound park where they have all these like crazy mounds that are shaped like lizards and birds and thing on the ground. They're all over the place in Wisconsin. So I went there, and now I'm settled at my future stepfather's home for the weekend, and thought I would hang out with you. I also I also
Well,
watched
thank you, my
Ponty. Well, I watched Rear Window last night with the old Hitchcock movie with my mom and the fam, my brother the pug, and today I watched Pontypool. We were discussing that. You're like, "What you up to?" I was like, "Just watching Pontypool right now, man. As usual."
nice, nice.
What about you? Have
Yeah,
you had time to do anything or watch anything? I know you've been busy at work, man.
yeah, it's weird because man, for me being so busy this week with work and everything, I have oddly enough I got 2 videos out,
I saw
and
that.
not just that, but it's like I saw 13 Fanboy on Tubi. You ever heard of
Yeah.
that one?
No, you told me. You said you had watched that, and I was like, interesting.
Yeah, so
What was it
apparently
about?
it's like it's like an obsessive Friday the 13th fan that starts stalking like all people throughout the Friday the 13th film franchise. So you have like Kane Hodder comes out, C.J. Graham, D. Wallace, some other people from throughout the films and stuff like that, and it's directed by Deborah Voorhees, and yeah, it's really interesting because they're playing, obviously they're playing the actors, they're playing themselves,
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
guy he's in a mask, and he kills he goes around killing the actors, like he kills Kane Hodder. Spoiler alert. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it was interesting. It was kind of like oh, even Corey Feldman's in it, but he's not playing Corey Feldman. He's playing some sleazy producer or whatever. But
Oh, okay.
it was okay. It wasn't too bad.
Oh, I'm fascinated by this. You've sold me on this one. I'm gonna have to check that out just for the weird meta horror thing. That sounds kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it was definitely interesting. And I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, D. Wallace. So
Yeah, I'm a fan.
yep.
But I mean, I'm that's interesting. Like, it seems like it must have been endorsed by the Friday the 13th, the people who own the property rights, or unless I don't know the legalities of using someone else's movie to make your movie based off it, or how that works. But
Yeah, it's
I,
interesting because they've been like I think at one point they're filming like at the beginning, I guess outside of Monster Palooza, which is like a big con over in California. So I think it's just it was definitely like an Indiegogo crowdfunded thing. So I mean,
hmm,
I'm not too sure like the ins and outs of it, but I thought it was pretty good. It was like it was decent.
lots of ins and outs, and yeah. Well, that's cool. If it's on Tubi, then yeah, I'll for sure give that a watch. That sounds interesting. It sounds like a good companion piece to the Friday the 13th films.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised that I mean, because I had never heard it, and I thought it was like some sort of like documentary thing, and I started reading the thing. I was like, oh, that's interesting. An actual killer that's really obsessed with the Friday the 13th franchise and stuff like that. So it was interesting. It was
Yeah, it
definitely
sounds like
interesting.
I had mentioned, I think on last week's show, I had watched The Hills Run Red, and that's
Hmm.
like a guy goes and finds a director, and ends up getting caught into this crazy world. It was sort of like the movie version of In the Mouth of Madness. Like, a guy goes kind of gets entwined in the horror itself. So it sounds to me like a kind of a combination of that and Wes Craven's New Nightmare, where like the meta
Hmm.
analysis of the movie kind of thing. So yeah, it sounds like it's right up my alley. I think I'd be interested in that one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. What else? I saw Furiosa as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
Pretty good.
I believe you liked it. I believe you're a fan.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely liked it. I thought it was really good. Compared to Fury Road, I think Fury Road is like still better. But no,
Mhm.
this one had my attention the whole time. It didn't the runtime didn't feel like the runtime. It was actually pretty good. Um, Helmsworth, man, he stole the show. I mean,
Really? He was one of the
yeah,
things I was concerned about. I felt like Thor stuck in the middle of the Mad Max world was going to kind of throw me off. But I don't know. If you're giving him a vote of approval, I like it.
no, honestly, man, I kept turning to my wife and I'm like, man, he's like legit in this movie. Yeah, he's really. I hope he plays more roles like this because he's brutal in this movie.
He's Australian, right?
Is Australian or New Zealand? Australian, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, but that's why I was trying to think. It's like, oh, there'd be a natural tie in there with the Mad Max world, then. So that seems like it would
But
make
you know
sense.
who is Australian?
There he is. Good. You're getting so good at this. You. Oh man.
Well, I learned from the best, man.
No, Jason Ninja in the house.
How you doing,
My guy,
brother?
Jason. It's not a party without Jason here.
Beards, man. We got to represent from all the corners of the
All the
world, you know.
corners of Beard World. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's saying hi. If you like that, check out Roseblood, the direct sequel to. Huh. Okay. I'll have to look into that
Friday the
one. I hadn't
13th,
seen.
7? Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would
Yeah, I'll have
definitely
to
be
check that
interested in
one out.
checking that out. Roseblood. Huh.
Roseblood. Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
definitely
I'll
put
add it
that
to
on
my.
my list there.
Sounds like I got a Friday the 13th adjacent double feature to watch there. That's nice.
There you go. And Marty says here he comes in with all the good stuff, man. See, he's got our back. He's Australian. Cuts loose. Could see he enjoyed finally playing a villain. Yeah, like I said, man. Yeah, he's good. I mean, he stole the show for me in that movie.
Nice.
Overall, I mean, it was. I thought it was a really good movie. Afterwards, I was like, man, that was actually pretty good. I hope they. I hope. I'm bummed that it didn't make. It's not making money, but it's like everybody's saying, it's a good movie. You know.
What about Anna Taylor Joy or whatever? Was she as good a good Charlize replacement, or what did you think?
Uh, the weird thing, and this is a conversation me and my wife had, was that we kind of feel like at towards the end of the film when she's like, I guess, more prominent, we were wondering if it's actually Charlize's voice, like they used her voice over, like we weren't
Hmm.
sure because she sounded pretty close to like Charlize, and but no, I think she did a great job as a Furiosa. I mean, she had that I don't want to give too much away, man, but no, she was good. I thought she was good. I mean, Charlize is, come on, man, Charlize, it's Atomic Blonde, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
But
I was going to say, you had told me also some news about Charlize relating to Friday the 13th too, to tie all this together. What news did you hear for me, Larry?
yeah, so I saw an article somewhere that apparently she's being eyed to be Pamela Voorhees for the Crystal Lake show.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I thought that was kind of interesting, and I mean, the article said something. The article said that it. I don't want to, I took it with a grain of salt, but it was saying that she was gonna be Pamela Voorhees. But then I saw another article somewhere else saying that 824 is eyeing her for it. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna go with eyeing her. I don't want to say, hey, you heard it here first or whatever, because
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
uh,
I know the Crystal Lakes show has had nothing but like just ups and downs. They had a showrunner, and then the showrunner left, and then they were all over the place. So the idea that somebody like Charlize might be attached is something that would help get that kite off the ground, I would think. So that
yeah.
would make
Well, that
sense.
was the other thing too. I remember hearing that 824 was no longer going to do it, and then now I guess they are going to do it. Still, I don't know.
Weird.
It's been really interesting, like what's been going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, the Friday the 13th show, they kind of been like kicking around the idea for a while. I think maybe even like the CW or one of them like bad channels had some thoughts in it for a while, and then like later on, after um, after they kind of got a new showrunner and everything, there was talk of what is I think it's going to be on NBC or Paramount or one of those. I don't even know.
Peacock. So
Peacock.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
NBC basically.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. So
Speak.
yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how that all shakes out and develops, because even then, I feel like that's a weird combination. So I would like to see how that works out. Um,
Yeah.
but
Looks
what do
like
you think
Mr.
of
Bones is here.
Charlie's? Oh, ooh, woo. Welcome, Mr. Bones. Nice to see you, my friend. Ara ara. That's supposed to be ara ara. What do you think about Charlize as Pamela Voorhees? You think?
Uh, Honestly, like I hadn't thought of that, but I mean that would actually. I like her as an actress, especially after her as she's gotten older as an actress. I like her. I liked her in. I loved her in Atomic Blonde, Furiosa, or in Fury Road rather. And I mean, she just and did you ever see the Old Guard? Did you ever see that one?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
The one on
No.
Netflix. That one was pretty good too. But I think she can. I think she can do a good job. I mean, I think she's a very talented actress. I think she would do a good job. I just like I said, it threw me off when I saw the article because I was like, really? Like wow, I didn't. I never thought of her in that kind of role. You know what I mean?
Well, when you had mentioned it to me, I kind of thought I was like, well, that is sort of a natural fit. I can kind of even picture her with the short blonde hair and the sweater and all that. Like it seems like she'd plug right in there, no problem.
Hmm.
And she's probably age appropriate to play, Pamela Voorhees at that age and stuff. Like, I don't know. It sounds like a natural fit as long as she was willing to slum it and do a Friday the 13th TV show.
Well, I mean, she did that. She did that Orville show for
Oh.
Seth MacFarlane. Like that threw me off
Yeah.
too, that she was on that show.
I didn't know she was. I've just learned that now. I learned that 2 seconds ago. I didn't realize she was on there. Huh?
Yeah, like
Was
it threw me off because I
it
was
a
watching
cameo
like
or
some.
was she a recurring
No,
character?
no, a recurring character. She was in there for a few episodes.
That's
It
awesome.
wasn't like she was walking in the background. No, she was actually like she was playing like a supporting character and stuff like that. So it was interesting. I need to go back and watch that whole show. But I mean, yeah, I mean if she's doing stuff like that, But I think it's after A Million Ways to Die in the West. I think that's where she, that's where McFarlane hooked her in,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because she was good in that
Well,
too, man. It's funny.
because when the Orville came out, I was like, oh, it looks kind of like a Galaxy Quest TV show kind of deal, and I thought, I'll watch it sometime. I'm not that excited about it, but then I've heard nothing but good things about that show, so I've always kind of meant to go back and check it out. I'm sure it's floating around somewhere on streaming.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know. I mean, I know it's on Hulu for sure. Fox and everything. So all that stuff's there.
Yeah.
What I hear from Star Trek fans, I was going to say the derogatory term.
Yeah.
From several Star Trek fans that I know, they've loved the show. They say it's better Star Trek than what Paramount's putting out Star Trek wise.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa. So I started checking out little clips here and there, and that's when I was like, wait, Charlize is in this? So
yeah, I'm still kind of blown away by that.
Yeah.
I was always under the impression that the Orville was like more silly because Seth MacFarlane. That's what I assumed. But yeah, like I've heard that too, that it's a very good Star Trek companion. So sounds cool to me.
Yeah. Marty says, I felt that if Fury Road was a Ferrari, this was a Rolls Royce. Not a fast paced, but nice to watch. Yeah, very true. It wasn't as it has its moments where it kind of like calms down, but you see a lot of and I'm not spoiling anything. They say this, they've said this in reviews and stuff like that, that you see like Bullet Farm and you see like the other territories, you actually get in them and see them and kind of see how the inner workings of them a little bit. And so those parts are a little bit slower, but when it ramps up pretty hardcore. And yeah, it's a good movie, man. I definitely, anybody who's on the fence about watching it, try to at least see it before it's out of the theaters, because it's definitely a theater experience. Yeah, there's a lot of there is a lot more CGI than Fury Road, but I still feel like it did a great job, at least in my opinion.
Well, yeah, like I said, it kind of the commercials and everything sort of made me about it, but I've heard everybody I know who's seen it has given it a fairly a good review. It's somewhere between a 7 or an 8. It's always like right there. People are always pretty positive about it.
Yeah, Jason, there is CG. Unfortunately, yeah, there's more CG, but
that was my concern. As a lot of the trailers and the commercials looked very CGI, but that so I thought a lot of the practical effects of the Mad Max, the idea that it feels like somebody's going to die every time they make one, is part of what I dug about it. But yeah, like I said, I've heard nothing. I haven't heard anybody come out and say it's bad. No one's brave enough to say it's a bad movie. So
no, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's interesting to see, hear all these people say it's like a 7.5, 8, that saying it's a solid film, and people aren't even going to go see it. It's like, it's crazy. It's baffling to me, because it's like, well, not really. I mean, look at the state of how movies are right now. So I'm not too surprised, but at the same time, because I mean, I think Garfield came out at the same time, and that didn't do any money. You would think, especially now with summer and stuff like that, it'd be blowing up with all the kids, but who knows, man. Nanette's here. How's it going, Nanette? Thanks for stopping by.
She's giving us the lurker eyes. She'll be here, but not as much commenting. So I appreciate you and Jack being here, Nanette. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The Furiosa, just on paper, the idea that it's a prequel to a reboot, right away, it's like, I don't know about that. But Especially since Charlize did such a good job in Furiosa or in Fury Road, to then have her recast. It seemed like it on paper it wasn't going to be good, but I agree. No one I've never heard anybody give it less than a 6. So, it's
man,
better than all positive.
Yeah, like I said, it's Fury Road is definitely better in my opinion. I really think Fury Road. I don't know if it's just like just the whole like the intensity of the film, and it's. I mean, you got Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron. I mean, it's just I don't know what it is. It's just like Fury Road is just for me is a 9.5, almost 10.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn good movie.
And
very rewatchable.
And even saying 9.5 is still kind of like, man, I feel like I should give it the 10 because it's so dang good. But
yeah.
it is like I'm almost mad at myself for not giving it a full 10. But it's like I know there's still some things in it that I'm like, it is whatever. But Marty said that the Crystal Lake show got the chopping block. No, as far as I know, it's still going.
Yeah, they had a thing. We had talked about it the week you were at Frightmare. That was the week they had announced that the showrunner who had been planning the entire show and had figured out, he'd been planning to do up to like 10 or 11 seasons of it, and then immediately, he'd even talked about bringing back the woman from the first one, the survivor, the girl that gets pulled in at the boat at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were talking about having that, and the next thing you know, old buddy was just gone. So they were going to have to, when the showrunner, that's the person who basically, that's the architect of the house, right? So if you're going to build a house and all of a sudden somebody ditches the architect, it's like, oh man, you got to start all over. And then I had heard the stuff about A24 not as enthusiastically being in it. And then right after that, Friday, the people who own the Friday the 13th property announced that they were going to have, what's it called? The Jason universe or Friday the 13th universe or whatever. And they were like, basically that felt like PR, like a spin, hey, this is bad press that the show's having trouble with the showrunner. So we got to do something to get it back on track and, not devalue our property, our brand. So, So to hear that, Charlize is interested and that A24 is indeed back on board, that to me sounds like it's going to be okay as long as they have the right people, shepherding the show.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see the progress of it. I'm definitely, it's one of those things where like I feel like out of all the major old school slasher franchises or whatever, I feel like Jason has, and might just be me, has the most like consistent films. I feel like there's more bad films in the Halloween franchise and there's more bad films in the Nightmare franchise. But again, that's just me. That's just my opinion.
Well, it's such a bizarre idea because I've heard that it's going to be a prequel show, but the showrunner that left said that he was going to incorporate stuff from all the movies, even up through Jason X. So that doesn't to me sound like a prequel. That sounds to me like a Friday the 13th show. And then does slasher horror work as a serialized show? Like, how do you end on cliffhangers? And you know what I mean? Like, to me, it sounded like a really difficult to pull off project. And showrunner was pulled off it. I was like, oh, I don't know. But
it's gonna be like the original Friday the 13th series where it's like different stories and then Jason's just gonna like be in the background.
Yeah, well, that's what I was afraid of because I fell for this once before when I was a kid and that Friday the 13th show came out and it was basically like kind of an X-Files type show almost, It was a bizarre mystery of the week sort of thing. So the idea of a slasher show seems, I don't know. Has there ever been a show even on Netflix or anything that's slasher based? There's been horror shows before, but not slasher horror, at least none that I could think of. Anybody in the chat, can you think of a slasher show? I don't know.
Maybe this person could tell us. The professor.
Salutations.
How you doing, Professor?
Nice to have you, Professor.
Always a pleasure to have you here, sir.
That's the man.
Marty says,
CW Friday 13th. Yeah, exactly.
Hope he's going to show up.
Yeah. While I'm thinking about it, while the professor here is, professor's been doing a lot of advertising for it. tomorrow, Saturday, there's going to be basically a day-long stream-a-thon for our friend Hobbs Horror. He's going through some medical issues, and they're trying to raise some money to help him pay his bills while he's off work and everything. So there is going to be a stream-a-palooza of a bunch of your favorite streamers. I know Mr. Bones, Lamonia Demonia. I believe the Friendly Men are mixed in there now. I'd said if I was available, I would try to get in there. I believe our friend Katie Popping the Popcorn is doing a duty. Yes, a lot of folks we love and dig. Maybe even Patrick Have Cheatable View, I think, has something to do with that as well. So, be sure to check out the Professor's channel. There's a trailer on there that helps explain it and shows some of the folks who are already involved. And it's for a good cause. So keep your eye out for that tomorrow, Saturday. Maybe Mr. Dan and Horror. I don't know. But
there's a lot of people doing it, and it's I didn't know that more people had added onto it. I've only seen like the Professor's trailer for it, and yeah, I mean, Professor did a great job on that trailer, man. I tell you, guy needs a budget and needs to make a movie for sure.
Oh, he definitely, if nothing else, he needs to just start be the person who makes trailers for the other movies I want to see, because he knows how to cut them together. He's awesome.
Right. I hope that you were doing well, Professor. Everybody saying hi to the Professor.
He's a proud favorite.
Oh, really? Charlize was in Arrested Development as well? I don't remember that.
Nice. She gets around.
Apparently, according to the Professor here, she was dating Seth MacFarlane at the time. I didn't know that. I think they had a thing, and that's why she was in his projects. Huh, I didn't know that.
That's an interesting power couple. Peak Charlize with Anne Flux. Jason's always got the hot takes. Did you like Anne Flux?
I've seen part of it, and then I don't know why I stopped. Well, that was the thing. I didn't finish watching it because I think I was doing other stuff, and I loved the original cartoon, the animated one from MTV. That was really good.
Yeah, I was a fan of that. The old what's it, Liquid Television or whatever it was called back in the day.
My first. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say the famous scene with the fly that lands on the eyelash, and it was kind of a memorable. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say. I was gonna say that my first, I guess, my first encounter of Charlize was 2 Days in the Valley.
Yeah, that's what I know her from, and she had the white jumpsuit. Is that her?
Yeah. The skin. Yeah, she fights Terry Hatcher cat fight.
Yeah, it was the first Kill Bill Uma Daryl Hannah thing. It was like, quite an epic hot babe fight. So yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. If y'all haven't seen that one, definitely check that one out. I mean, you got Spaders, an assassin, a madman in that. He's like completely nuts. I mean,
at the time when they made all those like kind of pulp, like basically Pulp Fiction was so popular that there were a lot of Tarantino knockoffs, and that was one that was actually rather enjoyable. I enjoyed 2 Days in the Valley.
Yeah, I'm surprised at all the stars that were in it. But again, I mean, I would imagine due to the success from Pulp Fiction, that's probably why. Like they were like, we got to get all these like good stars in it and stuff like that, and stuff like, and it had a good story. I mean, I really dug it.
Yeah.
Nanette hasn't seen Aeon Flux. Yeah, I need to finish watching that one. I know I've seen parts of it. Yeah, it's just I guess maybe I'm just too much a fan of the show.
As I recall, the movie was a bit convoluted, but it might be one of them things where I watched it late at night as usual. So it might be one where if I sat down just clear-headed and focused on the movie the whole time, maybe I would appreciate it more. I own the disc, so.
Well, it's like when people were saying when people were bashing Ghost in the Shell, the live action one. I saw most of it, and I really didn't have any issue with it. The anime.
I completely forgot they made a live action one. I just remembered, like, oh yeah, they did do that, didn't they? So yeah, the anime is so classic. That's why I completely blocked it out of my mind. I forgot who was in that. Scarlett Johansson or somebody who was in that.
Yeah, ScarJo was the main character, and I mean, it was. I liked this. I liked the look of it. It looked very, they did a great job of like how the movie looked. It looked like their anime, and very Blade Runner-ish,
Yeah, that's what I
which I
thought. It was
like.
very Blade Runner-y. Yeah, exactly. It's hard not to dig Blade Runner stuff.
Which I
But
believe Blade Runner came out this month in '82, so it's 42 years old this month.
nice. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of sci-fi stuff, if it doesn't have an original look, it often gets kind of swept under the rug. And I was afraid that um, it got lumped in with, what was it, Jupiter Ascending? Is that what it was called? The, so I think it kind of suffered from that. But yeah, I'd like to see
The
the
Jupiter Ascending without the Tatum
yeah.
conus joint.
Yeah, and he's like a puppy man or a dog man or something. Yeah, I don't know. That one I put on for a little bit because it was made by the Matrix folks, the
Okay.
formerly the Wachowski sisters. Yeah, so yeah, I believe that was their whole deal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never saw it, man. I mean,
Yeah, but I watched a little of it, but
especially after that last Matrix movie. Ugh, it was trash.
yeah.
And supposedly they're gonna make another one. Apparently.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I think that's more of a like Rambo and Rocky kind of go through things where there'll be a bad addition and then they have to like try to get they'll make they try to make a good one to balance the ship, to right the boat. So I think that's probably what they're trying to do with the Matrix after the disappointing of what was it, Resurrected? Is that what the most recent one was called?
Yeah, Res or something.
Yeah,
Resurrection. We need some
Resurrection.
money or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Resurrect our bank accounts.
Yeah, there you go. Russell's here. Texas Russell. How you doing, sir? Thanks for stopping by and
Russell,
hanging out with us.
my guy Russell, speaking of misfits here, my guy Russell watched What We Do Is Secret, the Germs movie last night. And I was like, I didn't even know anybody knew that besides me. Awesome. So yeah, be sure to check out our friend Russell's channel. He's got all sorts of cool ones. He's a deep cuts. I like his deep cuts.
Yeah, man, especially the Monkeys movie. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's always doing something off the wall and interesting. So yeah, when I saw he was doing the Germs movie, I was like, good, awesome. I'm glad you're doing well, Nanette.
Yeah, we're glad you're doing okay. Everybody said hi to Texas. Could this be a case? Everyone telling him how good something is and Don liking it.
Mm-hmm. That's usually me. I'm the Captain Contrarian. If everybody likes it, I'm kind of like, I bet it's not that good. I'll be a hater. Don't worry. I'll step up.
Well, I mean, the professor, man, he's ultimate.
Speaking of that conversation and tying back to something that we started the show on, for the first several episodes, we were discussing how I had never seen the movie Thanksgiving. And then I brought up how when everybody tells me something I like, and then yada, yada, yada. When I mentioned I'd been to Sauk City earlier in the day, Sauk City founded by Jonathan Carver. Yeah, that one, the Massachusetts one. Apparently, he's all over the place. He did a bunch of exploring. He was kind of like a Lewis and Clark type guy. So as soon as I saw Jonathan Carver was on the founding father of that city, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Awesome.
Nice. So there you go, man. You gotta change your, attitude towards Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm already going to be the first one on when the new one comes out, part 2. I'm going to be the first one to jump out of everybody else and say how great it is. So don't worry.
We're doing good, Nanette. I hope you're doing well. It's been a busy week and been crazy, but glad we're finally here at the weekend. Finally here.
Well, Larry's obviously doing good. Look at that shirt he's got on. Man, you are handsome in that thing, sir. Woo-wee.
Oh, this whole thing. I've had this for ages.
Oh yeah. Night Owl Movie Talk merch now available. You can find a link on the channel page for Night Owl Movie Talk right at the top there. So I thank you for being a handsome model, sir. Pinch your little cheek there.
Marty says, I'd say they've cracked down on stunts and live action. Yeah. Since Rust. Yep. The infamous Rust. Want to risk a chance because they don't care about human life, mine, but being sued. Yeah, it's more. Yeah, it's really that. I think they don't want to be sued.
With Mad Max and Road Warrior, there were parts when you watch them where you're like, oh, that stuntman almost died. That was real close. And then Oh, in the beginning of this week, I completely forgot. I watched. Oh goodness, what the heck was the name of it? Chuck Norris. I can't even recall what movie it was. I watched it with Gareth.
Delta Force.
Delta Force
Delta
2. Thank you. Yeah, Delta Force 2. And in that one, 4 people died in a helicopter crash. So, yeah, I was unaware of that. The Twilight Zone deaths are so famous because of the helicopter accident, and everybody talks about that movie and somebody passing away. Nobody ever talks about Delta Force 2 having like 4 or 5 people die in a helicopter crash either. So,
Well, if I'm remembering correctly, y'all were saying it's because of like it wasn't even like during the movie. It was like it was just like they were trying to get to a
well, it
shot
was
or something like that.
Yeah, well, what we were discussing is a lot of the shots in it will be like a helicopter flying, and then another helicopter flying with it to get the shot. Like one helicopter has the camera, and the other one has the people being filmed. So a group of stuntmen and one of the actors, a bunch of people were on one of the choppers, and they were both taken off, and yeah, some sort of weird wind swirl thing, and it just crashed, and yeah, but I was more shocked that no one ever talks about it. We all know Brandon Lee and Rust and Twilight Zone, all the haunted movies where somebody died. It's like, how come nobody ever talks about Delta Force 2? Interesting. So that's now available at Video Tasty's channel. You can check out me and Gareth. Otherwise, there's a link to it on the front page of my channel too. So
Looks like our legal counsel is here tonight. Jay
Jay
Harang.
Harang, welcome, sir. Nice to see you.
And I see. I can't believe this, my friend.
Holy cow! Yes, yeah. Nice to have you here, Rob. This is the progenitor of our show. This is our baby daddy right here, Rob's Vintage Video. We are so honored to have you back, Rob. I'm glad to see you around, man. You holler at me, slide into my DMs, Rob. Me and you need to have a talk about working on a project together if you're going to be around, man. Cool rascal. I miss Rob so bad. So I'm happy to see him. Yeah, when you were like, when you got excited, I was like, "What are you talking about, Larry?" Oh,
I didn't even know how to. I was like, I couldn't put words into a sentence, man, because I was like, wait, am I seeing correctly? Rob's here. I was like, oh man,
yeah.
Thank you for
Rob,
coming, good sir.
I've shouted out Rob several times. Rob is basically how I met Professor and Echo and Mayanne and all sorts of folks who you see frequently popping around our channel. So not to mention we're in his time slot currently. This show was invented because Rob's show had to take a hiatus for get a little clear his mind time. So we're happy to see Rob here. He's the man. Obviously, we can't shout his praises enough.
Definitely.
Indeed.
So thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah, glad to see Rob. That's two. Yeah, we even had more than one in a show in a while. Rob brings it out of me.
Well, if anybody deserves it, man.
Yeah, Rob's the man.
Scream TV show. I never saw that show.
Yeah, that's a good one, Professor. Good pull, because they did make. Didn't they turn Teen Wolf into a scary version too? The MTV
too.
Wolf.
Yeah. I think they did that too with them. They tried to make it
that's werewolf, not slasher. Yeah, Scream TV show would be more slasher. That's a good call, Professor. Good pull. I never watched the TV show, huh?
That I don't know. I think that'd be funny. Scream Queens, yeah, it's another one, but isn't that also on MTV? Isn't that also a part of that? I can't remember.
Look at Professor pulling them two out there. Yeah, we were all drawing a blank. Yeah, that's two that may have worked. Because it seems so weird to me. The current model of doing a series of shows is to leave on a cliffhanger, et cetera, et cetera. So the idea of someone getting killed off on how many people have to die in a series of shows like that? 2 or 3 people per episode, and you got 8 seasons. That's like 24 people. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of death to be done in a show like that. So good call, Professor.
Jason said hi to Rob. Let's see. No one has made a slasher show on Netflix. I don't really watch Netflix, so that's the thing. I don't know. Oh well, isn't there like Fear Street?
Well, yeah, Fear Street was a trilogy, but and I felt because each movie's like an hour and a half, it feels like a series, but it's only 3 episodes or whatever. The reason I brought up Netflix because they have so many shows that I'll just be flipping through and be like, never heard of this, and then start watching it. So if one slipped under the radar, I could see it being there or Amazon Prime or somewhere. Hey,
That's
everybody's
nice.
happy to have Rob back. It's a Rob
Yeah, man.
fest. Nice.
It's a Rob fest, man.
Mhm.
Brody just listened to Dark Side of the Moon.
Hmm. What's your favorite track on there, Brody? I like Comfortably Numb, right? Or no, that's not on Dark Side of the Moon, is it? Money is probably my favorite Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, that's probably my favorite on Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, Brody saying hi to everybody again. Brody saying hi to Brody, Nanette. Everybody saying hi to Brody. Yeah, Devil's Advocate was a good one too. I like that movie a lot. I thought it was yeah,
I
Pacino,
completely
man.
forgot that she was the wife in that. Yeah, I completely forgot.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing too, though. Like, if you see her in that movie and then see her in 2 Days in the Valley, like the difference, like
Oh yeah.
she can pull it off, man. She's a good actress.
She's almost like a Rosemary's Baby type character in Devil's Advocate. She's like sort of the wife that's there just to be the wife. Like she's sort of a victim almost. Like, but it as where, yeah, like you say, 2 Days in the Valley, she's almost like a China from DX or something. She's like a woman hitman kind of ass kicker, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We're saying hi to Rob. Nate's here. How you doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by, my man.
Nice to have you here, Nate. Nate gets one.
I don't know the Nate dance though.
Oh, it's usually just yeah, exactly. It's you gotta techno it up for Nate.
Astronaut's Wife. I remember that one. Oh, you know where she was also too that I'm forgetting. She was in. I think the first time I saw her was in That Thing You Do. Actually,
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't remember her being in that. That one I just remember the band or whatever. But
she was.
Tom Hanks.
She was a girlfriend of the drummer.
Oh, okay.
She was like the dentist. She would always go to the dentist, and she ended up with the hygienist or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while, but now
Very clean
thinking
of
back
her.
to it, I was like, that's right, she was in
Hmm.
that. Saying hi to Rob. Everybody saying hi to each other. Editor 666.
Welcome, editor.
Him?
I believe not only is this, I believe, the first time you've joined us, but you also have 666 in your name, bringing it back to Larry's sub count. So be sure to sub to Larry and get him off that evil number.
or leave me there.
Or leave him there personal forever. Yeah, purgatory and trapped at 666. But welcome, editor. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Can we get a Mac and Me sequel where ICE put Mac and his family in a detention camp and only eat McDonald's?
And as long as we have more kids in wheelchairs going off cliffs, that's all I need.
more fuel for Paul Rudd.
Yeah. This is my Mac impersonation.
Oh man. Everybody's saying hi. I need to get a new phone. The batteries. Oh man. Ugh. Yeah. No, that's not good.
Like a moon pie. Nice.
That's not very. Yeah, man. You got to be careful with that. Batteries popping. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, we don't want Nate burning his head up.
Yeah, I know. See, even the professor's in the mood.
Yeah, exactly. It's a catchy tune.
I just don't have all the fancy, clips and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to lease some of those from Bones. Bones has all the good ones. We're gonna have to work out some sort of rights usage deal.
Oh man, well, I mean,
oh no, we love Texas Russell. Yeah, that's our guy. Sean and Juno for a long time did their show. Well, Sean started doing his show by himself, and then Juno jumped in. And then later on, when Russell showed up, and I started to learn who that guy was and learn about him and his personality and stuff, it's like, I like this guy. He's good people. And then I found out he was into all the same stuff as me. So how could I not like him? Yeah, love me some Russell. That's how all the peeps in the chat are. My guy Jason Ginger Ninja and a bunch of these folks. It's like, yeah, they seem like nice people. So I'm always like cool people. And you find out the cool people like cool things. You know, that's how me and you became buddies. It's like, hey, we like all the fun stuff. Oh, look at you.
No, no, man. I mean, yeah, man. It's of course, Russell. I mean, and what to piggyback what Don was saying. Everybody here is like it's like we've said over and over again. Y'all are like the unofficial, unofficial third member of the of the channel. I mean, all of y'all, man. All of y'all throw us with all the great questions and the great feedback and stuff like that, and it's always a bunch of laughs. There's a lot of the times where we lose control of the chat, and everybody's just like making us laugh through the whole thing, man.
Well, that was when you came to me with the idea of this show. That's where the name Into House comes from. Is when Larry enters a chat, he usually puts Into House. So that's why that's where the title of the show came from. And one of the things he had mentioned to me is he wanted to do just a hangout session, just to get the folks together, kind of say, yo, kind of happy the week's over and starting the weekend. A good way to kick off, a couple days off. And have all the people we like and hanging out. And here we are 20 episodes later. So 20 weeks later.
Still not canceled, man.
Still not canceled. I don't see how. We're long overdue, mainly because of me. But yeah.
If you can, you should take it back to where you get it and replace it. Oh, the phone. Going back to
Nate's
the phone.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah, we don't want anything to happen to Nate.
No, definitely, man. I rewatched. There's a Surf Ninjas 2 because of Russell, amongst other titles. There's a Surf Ninjas 2. I didn't know that.
Me neither. Look at you, intrigued. I can see how intrigued you are. I like it.
Well, because I mean, Surf Ninjas isn't the best movie out there. I feel Rob Schneider is pretty annoying in that, but I didn't know they made a part 2.
Yeah,
I'm baffled right now. Like I'm literally like speechless because I'm like, there's a Surf Ninjas 2, huh? Well, I mean, obviously, Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ernie something or other. That dude's badass. Maybe they just figured since they had him under contract or something, it's like let's make another. I don't know.
Well, didn't they? I think they used like the same costumes from like
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
So I mean, if they're doing it on the cheap, man, yeah, they can make a Surf Ninja. I mean, I'm surprised there's not 4 Surf Ninjas.
Yeah, it's all very Roger Corman-esque or very canon type deal where it's like, hey, we got a bunch of berets. Every movie we're going to make for the next 10 years has berets in it.
Where's the link to Don's shirts? Or was Don pulling my leg? Were you pulling his leg?
No, I definitely am not. We love some pap. You can go to Night Owl Movie Talk and find it there. Otherwise, it's if you look around Teespring, it's there's a creator channel there. But I often put it in the descriptions of my show now of anything I watch. But right when you go to Night Owl Movie Talk's YouTube page, there's a link there, and there's one on my Instagram page as well. So you can track it down there. Otherwise, next stream I'd be doing, I'm sure I'll put one in there. But so Nate, I appreciate it. Yeah, Nate needs one. Nate's the awesomest model.
Oh,
I got the hot roller shirt. Nate's cool as heck. And he like takes the shirts and he'll put like matching outfits and make it and stuff. Nate goes all out.
Probably leave the battery in the fridge overnight.
Marty with a heck. Marty's a smart dude. Works for his PSP battery. Nice.
How you doing? I'm trying to think. Worth a shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, man. I'm gonna have to remember that next time. Everybody saying hi to everybody. Brody says money.
Yeah, money's a good one. Brody, you ever line up? You ever line up Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz? Have you, Larry?
No, I don't have that kind of
time. No. I don't have that much free time now. Give me a break. Yeah, supposedly if you press play the second the lion roars at the beginning of Wizard of Oz, you'll have your mind blown because it almost plays like an opera. Each song correlates with what's going on the screen. And when they arrive in the Emerald City, I think is when or maybe when she arrives in Oz, maybe money kicks in. So yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool.
Interesting. Interesting. Looks like Guy's here. How you doing, good sir?
Guy, welcome, Caveman Movies and More. We love us some Guy.
Yeah, so same here. Like his favorite is Money as well. Yeah, it's a good song, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Guy. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely check out everybody in the chat. Everybody check out everybody.
Wholeheartedly agree with that. I got nothing but cool folks in here.
Let's see. Everybody's so did you see any new trailers this week or anything?
Yeah, I watched the trailer for Smile 2. Yeah, I dig it. I liked Smile 1 or the original Smile, whatever you want to call it. Mr. Bones had called it It Smiles instead of It Follows, because he felt like it was very similar to It Follows, except with smiles instead of venereal diseases. But but I dug the first Smile because it was such a creepy movie, and the concept that not all smiling people are friendly, kind of a Joker thing, or that old song "Smiling Faces Sometimes," all that. It's so that just the weird, bizarre, how creepy someone can a smile can be. It takes it a new direction. So Smile 2 looks interesting. It's got kind of a pop star, I don't know, Rihanna or whatever you want to call it type deal to it, Lady Gaga, something like that. But I believe you saw it as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first one.
Oh, you never saw Smile?
No, just because there was like so much hype with it, and I was just kind of like,
See, look at you being like me. If everybody else likes it, I'm not going to like it. So,
see, and that's the thing. That happened with Trick or Treat, and that's why I missed out on it for so long. I mean, just several movies that just I went back and I watched after years and years of it. I mean, so this one, Smile, like I saw the trailer for 2, and I was like, this looks interesting. It's almost like a Lady Gaga sort of character. Like, so he's famous, so she starts going crazy because like it starts following her and stuff like that. But see, I definitely got the It Follows vibes from watching it. I was like, oh, this is definitely like It Follows, except not everybody's like hoeing about all through the whole film.
Hoeing about. Hoeing about shirts now available at the Horror Cat Dad shirt on TeePublic. Hoeing about. Hoeing about. The show. Next week, Into House will be known as Hoeing About. Rebrand.
Oh, man. There's no dark side. Matter of fact, it's all dark.
Brody. I'm glad Brody's here. He hasn't been around for the last couple of weeks. I've probably been playing the drums or something. So I'm glad Brody's here. I missed him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Whenever people are like, when I put like, be sure to hit the like button or whatever, I feel like I'm, kind of like nagging people, like make sure to hit the like button. But especially when you watch on the phone, the chat will come up underneath the video, so it covers up the like button, and it's got a sight out of mind. I usually watch on desktop, and it's there staring me in the face, so I remember to hit it. But yeah, especially if you're watching on a mobile device, it's nice for that people are reminded. So thank you, Nate. Thank you, Guy, Caveman. Yeah, all our peeps are good people. I appreciate y'all a lot.
Surf 2.
Oh, okay. Surf 2. Okay. What's Surf 2? What's Surf 1? I'm so confused.
And then
hey, question answered. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why I say Russell's a smart dude. Axe and ye shall receive.
Oh, here we go. You're stuck in a desert island with portable DVD with enough juice to play one movie. Which you playing double? That's weird. It only says Double Dragon. Oh, I guess it ran out. Double Dragon Thanksgiving or Mano's Hands of Fate.
Oh, I would. Well, I would think Thanksgiving if I only had to watch it once, because I'm due to watch Thanksgiving again. I was planning to watch it near the holiday. I think it'll probably. That was the issue. I watched it once it came to Netflix because I was so happy it was on Netflix. And then it was like, I don't know, around Easter time or something like that. Not very Thanksgiving-y. But I think if I watched it like
season.
Like if I watched it Black Friday, like after Thanksgiving, that Friday where you're just sitting around watching sports or whatever, if I watched Thanksgiving then, I think I would give it a higher approval rating. rating. It's like Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat's a good movie, but if you watch it in like, you know, whatever, February, it's not going to have the same feel to it, you know?
I don't know, man.
Look at you. You love you some Sam.
But the most times I do watch it is during the holidays or during the spooky season holiday. And of course, legal counsel.
Thanksgiving is the only acceptable answer. Have you ever seen Manos Hands of Fate, Larry?
Yes.
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn. When old buddy just walks across the room and goes out the door, and then later when he comes back and just walks through, it's like, boy, you guys are really trying to stretch this out, aren't you?
I will say this though, interesting.
I know you love Double Dragon. I know that's your jam is Double Dragon. No, not so much. What if you watched Double Dragon on the anniversary of Double Dragon? Would it be better that way? What about the Chinese New Year? If you watch Double Dragon on the Chinese New Year, would you enjoy it more?
So if I was on a desert island and I only had Double Dragon to watch, I'd probably hang myself.
I would.
I would just because it's like obviously I'm not gonna make it on a desert island, and then Double Dragon is just gonna make me more miserable. So I'll throw it in the ocean, hang myself, and then go from there.
That's literally overkill. Just throw it in the ocean and you stay alive. All right, help is coming. I'll come find you. Me and Jay and a helicopter will be there. Yeah, all right, fine.
Oh man, I have to say this too. The other interesting thing is Jay has done a review for Double Dragon and Manos Hands of Fate. So I'll go over to Jay's channel and check out those reviews and check out his other reviews, man. He's got great stuff. Great stuff, man.
Have you ever seen Manos Hands of Fate on its own, or have you only seen the Mystery Science Theater, riff tracks, etc. versions?
I've seen both.
Oh,
the first one I saw was MST, and I was like, man, I got to see this. Like, I got to see this like unriffed or whatever. I mean, yeah, I was like, oh my god, this is horrible.
What's old buddy's name? Torg or something like that? The
guy with the hat.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one I'm talking about. He takes his sweet ass time walking across the living room. It's like there's literally like 3 minutes of wasted time with just him walking. Like, yeah, there he goes. There he goes again.
That's where they got the idea for the Lord of the Rings films.
Yep, that's where they came from. Same exact thing. Manos Hands of Fate, Lord of the Rings trilogy, same diff.
All the wives, all the hobbits, same thing.
Mm-hmm. People in both movies have furry feet. Mm-hmm.
And Torg also makes an appearance in Street Trash. So same universe.
Snap! Oh wow, nice. Same universe. Probably is.
Can't wait for Deadpool Wolverine. Yep, definitely.
You think that's going to be the big hit of the summer? Like how each year there's like one movie that steals the summer. Like last year it was Barbie Oppenheimer, and I think Deadpool Wolverine is probably the big one this summer.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, people have been clamoring for that, and I mean, it's gonna make it. I mean, it should make good money at least that first weekend, because everybody's been wanting to see it. Everybody's been asking for it ever since Ryan Reynolds teased it in that one little whatever he did, where you see Hugh Jackman in the back. He's like, "Hey, do you want to play Wolverine again?" He's like, "Yeah, sure," and that's it.
Yeah,
it's like Deadpool. Everybody into the interwebs, and they're like, "We're finally getting it,"
Well, not only is that a combination of like two of our favorite characters, and like when they would interact in the comics and stuff, it'd always be great. But we're going to get Hugh Jackman finally in the yellow Wolverine suit. So, I mean, there's just a lot to it that makes it seem like a cool flick.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just from the trailers I've seen, I'm like, man, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm hoping they kind of. I almost don't want to watch any more trailers for it, and I've been trying to. Anything I see come up for it, I'm like, I don't want to read that, or I don't want to. Except the one thing that I read is that apparently and I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently they had Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, and they cut out her character from it or something. I don't know if it's true or not. It's just some random article
I
on the
like it. I
interweb.
like it even more now. Now it's even. You're speaking my language, Deadpool.
Oh man, that's great. There's a crazy looking new one called The Front Room with the singer Brandy. Yeah, I saw a poster for that, but I didn't. Is there a trailer for that? I don't know if there's a trailer for that, but I did see that. I did see that poster though.
I didn't realize Brandy was still a thing. I miss Brandy. Now that you mention it, interesting.
And then Jason.
Double Dragon, FTW. I still like that your two least favorite movies of all time are Double Dragon and The Last Jedi. Like if somebody tied you to a wall and made you watch those movies, like I'll tell you anything, just stop, please. Whatever, my bank account number, anything, just make this stop.
Oh man. And then Professor is like, yeah, I guess the overkill is a little too much. But I'm a man of my principles, man. I'm a man of
You are.
my, It's
Well, I
like,
appreciate that you were going to throw it in the ocean and then go kill yourself. Well, obviously you couldn't kill yourself and then throw it in the ocean. That'd be weird. But just, yeah, the idea that you were like, I got to see this through to the end. Literally.
Double Dragon. All I gotta say is Robert Patrick Cross.
It was it was very highlights era that when Double Dragon came out. Lots of highlights.
Oh man. Looks like Don Rocks. He looks like Vanilla Ice if Vanilla Ice became well balanced, decent human being.
Word to your mother, editor 666. I appreciate it. I will take that.
That's great, man. Let's see, Torgo. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
telling you, man.
Torgo. Yeah, I called him Torg, I think. Yeah, but Torgo. There you go. I wouldn't want to insult the man.
Here we go, man. It's back to it. It's like he's gonna become a.
That's what Professor always stands up for. He's like, yeah, but Alyssa Milano's in it. And it's like, yeah, I guess. But she was also in that vampire movie with her boobs out that nobody really ever watched. And that's way better. If you're going to watch something just because of Alyssa Milano, watch that.
Or Fear, with Marky Mark and Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. That works as well.
Yeah. I recommend movies that are way worse than Double Dragon to you, Larry. No, I don't remember Wing Commander. I saw it once, and that was it. Freddie Prinze and Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard. Who was the woman? I don't even remember. That's who she was. The girl in Wing Commander.
Wasn't it Jessica Biel?
But, maybe. I remember. Wasn't it based on a game from like Sega CD or some like unused CD? I think it was a very not popular game.
Yeah, it was based off of a game. I never played the game, so I didn't even know it was based off of a game until the interwebs later. Like I was just like, this movie's not that, it's forgettable.
Is that the game that has Mark Hamill in it? There was a game when I think it was when Sega CD came out. The hookup of Sega CD was that you could use video clips, like it was basically early DVD stuff. And I think for some reason Mark Hamill might have been in that. I don't know. I make stuff up. So
yeah, they had him in one, and I know Corey Haim was in another one. Was it Sewer Shark? I don't know. Corey Haim was in one of them too. I just can't remember which one it was. Yeah, it was Wing Commander game. Yeah, he was in that one. I think
Holy
even
crap. Apparently, it was a game. It was a game, an animated television series, a feature film, a collectible card game, a series of novels, and action figures. Holy cow. Yeah, I was unaware it was that big of a deal. Nice. So there's a whole Wing Commander universe that, I was unaware of. I just thought it was a video game that had Mark Hamill in it and then made into a bad Freddie Prinze movie. So, Thanks, Professor. I'm glad you have my back on that one.
Yeah, back later if you're still kicking on. Okay, Jason. Yeah, thanks again for coming, man. Thanks so much. Always glad to have you, my friend.
Yeah.
Also, Marty's coming back. He's gonna ring his lady. Yeah, gotta keep the lady happy, man.
Oh, for shizzle. For shizzle. Oh, right.
Yes, Alyssa Milano. You know what's up. But is that the only thing that's gonna make Double Dragon good? Is Alyssa Milano?
And isn't that, didn't she, like, I think that was probably after Who's the Boss had wrapped up and she'd kind of been MIA for a few years. And then she showed up with the short haircut, I think, in Double Dragon. Like she had the shorter hair kind of deal.
Yeah, she had the short hair in Double Dragon.
Yeah.
I can't remember though if Embrace the Vampire. No, yeah, Embrace the Vampire would have came after that. But
Okay.
no, yeah, was Embrace the Vampire. Yeah, she started doing a whole bunch of spicy movies after that. I think she
Yeah,
was just done with being.
was she Poison Ivy 2, maybe? I can't remember who that one was. I know Poison Ivy 1 was Alicia Silverstone, right? And then I
Yeah.
think, yeah, so I don't know. I couldn't even remember the vampire movie. I still call it the one with Alyssa Milano's boobs. That should just be like the title of it.
Right?
The Alyssa Milano boob
The little,
movie.
Night Owl movie talk. 4 stars. Alyssa Milano's boobs.
Yeah, pretty
Movie.
much.
Don is correct. Saffron Bros was in the movie. Mark Hamill, John Rhys Davies. Wow, Mark Hamill was in that movie too. Man, I must have blocked that out. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
They're in the game. Yeah, we got a book, lads. Good night. Saffron Burrows,
right,
as I recall, she was popular for a few minutes. Yeah, that's who it would be. Interesting. But thank you, Marty. I appreciate you here and contributing always. And be sure to go to the Horror Cat Dad's channel, find the nominees for the June. What is it?
For July.
July. Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I don't even know what month it is. For the July Horror YouTuber of the Month. And plenty of fine nominees. Vote for Marty. Unless the other folks are watching. So,
Well, Highlander the Source, aka the movie that murdered the Highlander series, murdered it to death. Which one was that one? I don't think I ever saw that one. That's probably why it's not on my list, because I don't think I've ever heard of it. Which one was that one?
The Highlander the Source, about Highlander the Source, aka the movie that murdered Highlander, murdered death. I don't know. I only I think I saw Highlander 1 and 2, and then every now and then when I would see the TV show, I would just kind of ignore it. Like so. Yeah, the Highlander world stops to me after part 1, really. Maybe part 2, but
see, for the longest time, I never like. For the longest time, the one I watched the most was Highlander 2, because it was on cable. Got Ironside, very Blade Runner ish. I would liked it. Spoiler or hot take. I thought I didn't have. I mean, it doesn't compare to part 1, but see, then I liked part 3, the one with Van Peebles. Was that 3? That's the third one, right?
I couldn't tell you. I tapped out after 2. I just remember 1 I liked a lot because of Sean Connery and all that stuff. And then part 2, I kind of was like, well, I'll check it out. And then after that, I was like, the Highlander universe is too big for me. I give up.
Well, no, like I think because I think that third one, it's got like several different names. It's got like Endgame, and then something about time. I don't remember. But yeah, it's where like Mario Van Peebles is like hunting him down because he was like buried and he's still alive like centuries later or something like that. I like that. That was pretty good. It was a early Miramax film when Miramax was still good and not canceled, or Weinstein was not canceled.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I said Alicia Silverstone.
So you were thinking Silverstone was the other one with Carrie Elwes, The Crush.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Poison Ivy with Drew Barrymore. That was her breakout role where she first started to be naked. Like that was like the thing for a while. Like they would have these, and maybe it was the second one or the third one. Oh God, what was her name? The blonde that was popular for a while. Jamie. Oh God, I can't remember her name.
Presley?
Yeah, I believe that was her, maybe. But yeah, at that time, that was when they started the trend of child actress disappears through puberty and then shows back up in young adulthood and hey, I'm naked. Like that became like the way it happens. So it's like, I don't know if I want to see that. I only think of you as a child star.
Well, I still remember when she did the whole thing on Letterman.
Yeah. I think that was around maybe the same time because she became known. She did a Playboy spread and some other things. And that was like her, everybody knows her from E.T. and Irreconcilable Differences and all these movies. And then, she disappears through like teen years, then pops back up like, hey, I'm a sexual being now. And it's like, okay, you're making us all uncomfortable, but what's up?
Don dropping the Milano knowledge. Don is correct again.
She's in part 2. And then what was the one with Jamie Presley? Was that maybe 3? I think she turns up in one of them. I don't know. Yeah, I can't believe they made 3 Poison Ivies. Jesus.
Actually, I think there's.
Yeah.
Is there 3?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Poison Ivy films.
And that is a great film there, Jay. That's a great film. Oscar worthy almost. The Crush.
Yeah, The Crush is the one I'm thinking of. I put in Poison Ivy films, and they gave me a whole rundown of all films about poison. Let me see. I'm trying to do this again. Poison Ivy 3, Secret Society. Who was in that one?
So was it 4 that she was in?
I don't even know. Let's see. Poison Ivy 2, yeah, was that. Poison Ivy 1, Drew Barrymore. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like Shauna Waldron was the third one. I couldn't even tell you the one that it must have been a Poison Ivy knockoff. Let's see.
Jay says she was in 3. Yeah, she was in 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There it is.
Poison Ivy, The Secret Society. Yeah, exactly.
That's part 4. That's part 4. The Secret Society is part 4.
Oh, wow. All right. I didn't realize Poison Ivy was such a successful series.
I mean, remember when Drew Barrymore? Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, that was weird. Hey,
yeah,
Mr. Dan.
Mr. Dan and Horror, nice to see you, sir. Smoke Screen, Charmed, Poor White Trash. Yeah, interesting. Oh, she was in The Karate Dog. Forget it. That's all you need to see for Jamie Presley.
She was in My Name is Earl as well.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And she was in a movie called Poor White Trash, which was basically like a My Name is Earl movie.
She was also in Joe Dirte.
Yeah, Joe Dirte. Dang, big old cigarette.
I'm your sister. I'm your sister. Let's see. Highlander the Swords broke the signature katana of the immortals of their immortality and placed Queen with a lamo cover band. Replaced Queen with a lamo cover band singing Prince of the Universe. Oh, really? It can be only
the Queen version of Princes of the Universe. That's a low level jam. A lot of people don't know that. It's undercover. That and what's the song from Iron Eagle? One Vision or something like that. Whenever Queen was on the soundtracks, they were the jam. So the idea of some cover band doing Princes of the Universe, I'm offended for everybody here.
It's like in Flash Gordon, man.
Flash, that's another one. Mm-hmm.
Flash.
Save
universe. What's going on, Mr. Dan? Glad you're joining us.
Welcome, my friend.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, there you go. I've covered the
Jay,
whole series.
That's right up Jay's alley. If you're not familiar with Jay's work, he will dig deep into these Lifetime movies and some of these weird movies that a lot go under our radar. Because I'll see when he's talking about stuff like that. Intrigues me. Nice.
See, folks, he tortures himself so you don't have to. So definitely go check out his channel, man. Got a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, I met Jay through Video Tasties, and then when he started showing up here, he was at your birthday party. The Larry birthday party stream was famous. Actually, I thought about that the whole thing. Remember when Jay was like, "I bet you're an Eagles fan," and I was like, "No, I hate the fucking Eagles." I figured it out. I was wearing my party shirt that day because it was your birthday party. So I had like this print shirt on that had a bunch of little Jason masks all over it, but it looks like a flowery kind of Hawaiian shirt from far away. So I think he thought I was maybe like a Jimmy Buffett parrot head type of guy or something. I pieced it all together later. I was like, that shirt probably is what got us off track.
And it's funny is I think I've told you, it's like ever since that night, or ever since then, you keep saying that you hate the Eagles, man, I hear it everywhere.
Oh, they were on the radio the other day. The Hotel California was on, and then for a long time, my show. Now that I'm mobile again, but for a while when I had hunkered down, I was doing it from a hotel, and I would often say about the place I was at that it was the Hotel California. You can check out, but you can never leave. So,
Oh man, this is great too. Check this out. I guess I guess Queen for VT, and he denied it. Then he posted on Instagram his favorite album was Queen.
awesome. See, he said he did have a talent for it.
I went back
Oh,
to Highlander the series. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna, speaking of our friend Video Tasties, as long as on our mind, he did an hour and a half documentary called Batmania about the Batman Michael Keaton film, and he did. I know a lot of folks are in there doing commentaries and stuff. It's been up for like 3 days, and it's already like 20-30,000 views. It's blowing up. It's doing very popular. So if you're a fan of Batman or Video Tasties, go check out our friend Garrett's page and check out that Batmania documentary. He's doing a cool stuff over there, our friend.
Yeah, man, he's always got crazy stuff going on, man. A lot of content every single day. And it's like, man, that guy's a workhorse for sure.
All right, I told you he's part of my inspiration. That guy is one of the hardest working man in show business. That guy, him and James Brown.
I went back to the Highlander series recently. Dated but still fun. Richard Mole making bug eyes through a mask is fun.
See, I always lumped the Highlander series in with those like Hercules and Xena. Like around that time, there was just a lot of popular late night, like it would come on at 11 o'clock or midnight on the off-brand channels. So that's, I think, where Highlander series got off track for me. It got lumped in with, shows that were, whatever. I know Xena and Hercules had big followings, but I think, did they make like a Robin Hood show or something too? I don't remember. They made
made like 2 different ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was like a British one where it's funny. They made a British one where the guy that played Robin Hood is the guy that played. He was in Men in Tights. He was the guy, the one that was like where he cuts up the arrow that comes at him. I don't know if you remember that, but he plays Robin Hood. Yeah, it's been a while, but I can't remember.
Not Carrie Elwes.
No. But the other guy, like he shoots an arrow at him, and he cuts it up with 2 knives, and it's like all like it's overly exaggerated, silly. Yeah, it's over exaggerated. But the series I watched it a little bit. I mean, I never got into it like hardcore or anything, but it was okay. It's not.
That's the type of thing I would like to binge, because trying to catch it like every Saturday night or Sunday night at 11 or midnight or whatever is kind of a weird way to keep up with the show, except for VIP with Pamela Anderson. That's the best way to watch that one. But Richard Mall, anything he's in, I'm a fan of. Bull from Night Court.
People Speak. Yep.
Yep. There you
go. Jennifer was also an excellent Dead or Alive. She was exceptionally.
That's another weird one. The bikini chick volleyball movie that they made into like this crazy action kung fu thing or whatever. But
well, that's the thing. Originally, that's what it was. The game was a fighting game.
Oh, okay.
And then that became a bikini volleyball game. So that's why that became more prominent, because obviously
they were like, the fighting's okay, but if we could get more computerized chicks in bikinis, and it's like, we'll just have them play volleyball. We'll just cut out the middleman, cut straight to the chase.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about that is like I've played the games, the fighting game ones, and there was like, I think in the first game there was a secret code where you can make them more bouncy, and then the second one it was just there in the settings. And then like ever since then you can actually like that's a thing. And then finally it became the Dead or Alive volleyball thing. And I was just like, man, it's like sad, lonely gamers, man. They know how to wrangle in that market.
I used to call it a hot chick Tekken. Like for the DOA. I was like, oh, hot chick Tekken is out. Good. All right. I didn't realize that they just moved them on to volleyball too. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, bro, that's great. Jay says BT looks like the kind of guy who only had one seat. That wasn't.
Compilation of pop hits. Yeah, Gareth
Oh,
probably does have a lot of now. That's what I call music. I could see that. Yeah.
oh man, that's great. So not a fan of the Highlanders spin-off series, The Raven.
I didn't even know about it till this second.
I
Is that
didn't
one
know
good?
about that either.
Yeah. Do you like that one, Professor? Because I'd be interested in watching the Highlander series if people say it's good. Because the original Highlander movie, I love. There can be only one and all that stuff. Clancy Brown and all that. Like,
Mhm.
that's a good movie. The Fabulous Freebirds are in it, for God's sakes. What else do you need? Um, but by the time the second one came and then it got into the subsequent, sequels, I was kind of like, not. I'm kind of tapping out after the good one. But I'd be interested in watching the show.
Yeah, the show, like I said, I didn't know that there was a spin-off. That's interesting. I'd definitely have to look into that.
Yeah.
There was even a Conan show. I didn't know that. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still amazed that they made that. Well, I knew they made that Conan the Barbarian. Wasn't Jason Momoa
Yeah,
in the
Momoa
remake?
show,
Yeah,
Momoa movie.
yeah, and that's what I often when it came out, I'm like, the new Conan's a little thin. And then after I watched Game of Thrones, I was like, oh, I'd be interested in watching the Jason Momoa Conan movie. I didn't know there was a show. That
I honestly, I thought it was good. It's not gonna be, it's not gonna beat the original. But I thought he did a pretty good job, and it definitely he looked the part of like the comics. He looked like the Conan from the comics, and it was pretty like brutal and stuff like that too. I mean, he was grabbing women and all that stuff, but no, I
the,
I, I thought it was decent. I mean,
that Conan
I don't know
movie
what
it
they
also
made it
came
so
out
much.
around the same time that they did those. I think didn't they do two Hercules movies? Didn't they do one with The Rock and one with somebody else too? Another guy, I don't know. Yeah, there was
Oh,
kind of a
you mean the Scorpion King?
no. I believe I thought there was
Hercules. Hercules. I
yeah,
don't know that.
2014 with The Rock, Hercules. Um,
Huh.
yeah, and then what was the other one? Yeah, there was another one that came out around then, another Hercules movie because that's obviously a public domain character. Then there's the 1997 cartoon. Hercules: The Legendary Journeys was the TV show with Sorbo.
Hmm.
Let me see. Hercules movies. The Legend of Hercules. There's the old Lou Ferrigno.
The asylum version of Hercules that made it to theaters. Huh.
Hercules Reborn, 2014, Peacock. That must have been the other one I was thinking of. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of
Interesting.
them.
About that.
Oh, Legend of Hercules was Kellen Lutz. And then there was Little Hercules in 3D in 2009. That's
Hmm.
interesting.
Interesting.
The Legend of
And
Hercules. Yeah.
so let me see. Yes, part of me wants to say yes just to make everyone watch it. The good part of it says no, don't watch it. It's Birds of Prey levels of meh. I
That's pretty low. That's pretty meh.
I,
That's a,
I
that's
had no interest, man. I'm not gonna watch that. I didn't even like that other Suicide Squad one. I still think it's yeah.
oh the uh, Birds of Prey or Fabulous Emancipation of
Yeah,
Harley Quinn. That one I didn't like at all, and it had everything going for it, and I should have liked it, but I just remember being like very annoyed with it. Although the James Gunn Suicide Squad is that
that
the
one was good.
Suicide Squad? I think that's a good movie. I recommend that one. The with the polka dot man and all that. That saved the series for me.
And that's what got him the DC job, man.
Yeah. Well, James Gunn, he gets it. He
Yeah.
understands.
Although we're not getting a Brightburn 2 now. So that's a bummer.
Damn it.
And oh no, not Birds of Prey movie. I meant The Raven is like the Birds of
The Birds of
Prey
Prey TV show.
TV show. Okay, that
Yeah,
played
there
on.
was. I
Okay,
remember that. Was that a CW one? Okay, I was going to say I didn't remember if that was CW or Fox or where that was. I do remember when Birds of Prey came out because I'm like, oh, I'm a Batman fan, so I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I'd be interested in watching that. And then,
Yeah, the Birds of Prey one was on Fox, and then
okay,
wait, was it? Was it?
I thought, and
No,
wasn't somebody?
it might have been
It might have been
CW.
CW.
It
That
might have
was
been
around the
CW.
time back when I said I was drunk during 1997. Yeah, that might have been around that same time. So it's all a blur. But was it? Didn't some like famous person or famous wrestler or somebody get hurt on that Birds of Prey show? Like I
Hmm.
don't even remember. That was the only thing I remember, and I don't even remember who it was now.
Yeah, I never saw the. I liked the way it looked. I remember the show looking the way it looked. It was like a sort of like pre underworld look. You know, the tight skin tight leather and stuff like that.
I
I
think it
remember
was
that.
maybe Lita. I think it was Lita, as I recall, got injured or somebody because they needed a woman to kick ass on the Birds of Prey show. And as I recall, I think she maybe did like a flying head scissors on somebody and they broke her back or whatever. I don't remember how it
Oh
happened, but
man,
not literally broke her back, but like was injured, and that's kind of what slowed down her career after that.
dang man. Yeah, I have to go back and see that one because I don't think I ever saw like all the way through. I feel like I saw a few episodes and I can't remember because it was the early Jessica Alba, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, when she was still like before Idle Hands and she blew up.
Yeah, that was when she took off, was Idle Hands. Because they even marketed her as like even in the trailer, they had her like all sexed up, trying to push her as like, hey, cute woman in this. Mm-hmm.
Well, my friend, we are at an hour and 30 minutes. I think that'd be a good time to call it for this evening. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea, especially since you've been burning the candle at both ends, and everybody's been working for the weekend.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure you're ready for some of that pizza too, man.
yeah, I got a pizza on the way. I would like to say this week Donald Sutherland passed away. Rest in peace to him. I probably want to go back and look at a bunch of his stuff. He's so many classic movies, so much good stuff from MASH to Invasion of the Body Snatchers remake and all these things. So yeah, shout out to DS.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want to give a shout out or love to, my friend?
Well, like you said, I mean, Donald Sutherland, he was awesome, man. He was in also Beer Fest. He was great in that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. He was great in that. He's been in a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
He's just
Well,
a
yeah,
legend. It's a bummer that he's no longer with us, man.
that news caught me off guard every now and then. Most times when celebrities pass away, it's like, they had a good run. But when he passed away, it was one of those that gets me. Every now and then one will touch me. So
Yeah,
that one
man.
hurt me. But other than that, um, yeah, I believe next week will be on my channel for Into House next Friday at 6:00. Other than that, I think me and Larry will probably be involved in a lot of variety of YouTube trick shenanigans. So keep an eye out for us everywhere. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out. Stay tuned, and thanks for everybody again. Time and time again, thank you so much for hanging out with us every week. And I mean, here we are, week 20. And 20. I mean, 20, and Rob was here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that I'm still like, I couldn't believe it when I saw Rob doing the floppy hand hearts, man. So yeah,
Yeah, when you were surprised, I was worried that Donald Sutherland was in the chat. Like, I can't believe that this is going on, but I was like, oh no, is DF here? So
he's like, I don't know who told you I was dead.
mhm.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much, man. I should see Vision or Buffy. I mean, you can't go wrong with either or. I mean, that Buffy film is also a good one. You got Paul Rubens, you got early Arquette, you got Jason
Christy
Priestley when he was trying
Swanson.
to break on. Yeah, Christy
Christy
Swanson, man.
Swanson. Mhm.
She
I
still
know
is Buffy to me. I mean,
I know the professor loves him a babe, so that's a tough one. But that invasion, that's got early Goldblum too, and he's always a plus. So yeah, lots to do with that there.
But
So,
no, again, everybody, thank you so much. The only things really I got coming up is just a couple of reviews next week, hopefully, and yeah, I think
you put out a
anything else
fresh
that
new
you.
video today, so be
Yes,
sure to
sir.
check out Larry's channel. Also, on Wednesday, didn't you have a bunch of new acquisitions and various stuff?
Yep,
So yeah,
had
be
another
sure to
haul
check out our
video come
friend.
out. So
Yeah,
trying to keep the algorithm going, man.
yeah.
Feeding the
Um,
algorithm, I guess. But
I watched
no,
Pet Cemetery on my channel, and be sure to check out the Collector with me and Mr. Bones. Supposedly this Tuesday, if I'm available, we'll be watching The Collection. And then also I did a review of a watch along of Pet Cemetery on my channel. I'm sure we'll have some other watch alongs coming on. So yeah. So
every time,
well,
man, gets me every time.
every time. That damn Achilles tendon, it hurts. No, I want to
Ugh,
play with you. Yeah. Get out of here, yo.
like a field goal to the kid, man.
But yeah, I see Mr. Dan is pointing it out. Be sure tomorrow, Saturday, to get in on that Hobbs Horror Super Supportacular. That's what we're calling it. So lots of people involved with that. Check out the trailer on Professor Macabro's channel. Folks everywhere. I'll see if maybe if there's a window for me to hop in there. We'll see. But
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate everyone for hanging out. You guys rule in the chat. I have, I'll go a 6 Thoppy hand heart for Larry's 666. There we go. And on 6. Thanks everyone. Editor 666, Russell, Texas Hardcore, Macabro, Brody. It was nice to have Brody here, and in Rob's
Yeah,
Vintage Video, stealing the show. We're happy to have him here as well. So, thank you everyone.
thank you, everybody. Y'all have a good night and have a nice weekend. And I'll leave it with Don with saying,
well, I got 2 for you. First, I'll say be sure to have a happy summer season, as yesterday was the first day of summer. And then be sure to I wish all of you green grass and high tides forever.